What we can read from the water's story carved on the ancient stone? When myths and giants faded, how did we define time? Do rivers divide us or connect us? Can we tame the waters without losing the wonder? As rivers flow through our cities, what futures do they carry? Ancient humans observed nature and distilled their experiences into patterns that guided their activities and the formation of customs. Among these, the intangible concept of time was marked using tangible tools, greatly expanding humanity's understanding of the universe. The rising and setting of the sun, the annual flooding of the Nile, and the regularity of religious rituals all shaped the ancient Egyptians' acute perception of and deep respect for time. This is a water clock unearthed from the Karnak Temple in Egypt, dating back to around 2000 BCE. The ancient Egyptians used it to adjust ritual schedules and observe celestial movements. Its mechanism involved a container marked with 12-hour scales, where time was measured by observing the changing water level as it slowly dripped through a small hole at the bottom. The carvings on the surface of the water clock depict the relationship between the pharaoh, the gods, and the stars, reflecting the ancient Egyptian principle of defining time through celestial observation. They discovered that each year, the flooding of the Nile coincided with the appearance of Sirius in the dawn sky near the summer solstice. Based on this, they created the Sophic cycle calendar. They divided the year into 12 months of 3 10-day weeks, plus a 5-day festival, and added a leap month to correct for the mismatch with the actual solar year, ensuring a 365-day calendar. This became the solar calendar widely used by later civilizations. At another ancient site, the insight the ancient Egyptians drew from Sirius bestowed a deeper meaning upon the concept of time. In the holy city of Abydos, located in present-day Sohag Governorate, stands the temple of Seti I. It was initiated by Pharaoh Seti I of the 19th dynasty and completed by his son, Ramses II.
At the first court we have 2 wells. Yeah, in ancient Egypt, before entering the temple, you should be Wab.
Wab.
Wab, it's an ancient Egyptian word mean clean.
Clean.
Yeah, purified. 2 priests should pouring the water before entering and doing
Praying.
Yeah, praying to the gods. Originally, the temple have 7 doors there. Nowadays, you can see only 2 or 3. 7 chapels lead to it, 7 doors. But Ramses II, this was in the time of Seti I. But Ramses II closed some of them and left the main door, which lead to the chapel of Amun-Ra, the main god of the new kingdom in his time. Yeah, and the one of Horus, and this one which lead to the chapel of Osiris.
This temple by the Nile was not only dedicated to Amun and generations of pharaohs, but also served as the sacred site of Osiris's resurrection in mythology, symbolizing the convergence of life and death.
Here, in this part, we're talking about the jet pillar, the symbol of Osiris, the erecting of jet pillar, which indicate to the resurrection of Osiris. Also Osiris, Isis, and Horus. We are talking about the upper part indicate to a woman. The lower part indicate to a man. We are talking about the fertility of the Nile, because Osiris, he has different meanings. He is the god of the Nile, god of agriculture, the god of the afterlife. Many things. With the flood, the appearance of the Sirius in the sky, the starting of the Egyptian year. We are talking about that. Osiris indicate to the resurrection, the rebirth, different meanings. It is the same as Sirius, which yearly or annually appear on the sky.
According to ancient Egyptian lore, Osiris, the Nile's god of fertility and son of earth, god Geb, and sky goddess Nut, incarnated on earth, ascended to the throne and ruled Egypt with benevolence, bringing prosperity to the land. Osiris's brother Set was very jealous of him. He betrayed and slain Osiris. With the help of Thoth, his wife Isis revived Osiris just long enough to conceive Horus. After years of exile, Horus battled Set, lost his eye, and later reclaimed it with Thoth's aid. In a sacred ritual, Horus offered the eye to Osiris, restoring his soul and raising him from death. Osiris became the type and symbol of resurrection among the Egyptians of all periods, because he was a god who had been originally a mortal and had risen from the dead. In this legend, one crucial element that brought Osiris back to life gave rise to ancient Egypt's unique funerary tradition.
Pointing some oils to regathering the dismembered pieces of his body. And this indicate to the rebirth or resurrection of Osiris. Here we are talking about also giving the clothes to Osiris. Here, his legs just wrapped as a mummified shape of him. Like that, all the mummified or the mummification process use such wrapping of linen to wrap the people or the dead people in ancient Egypt to keep the body for the eternity, to receive the soul and many things else.
After Set hacked Osiris's body into 14 pieces and scattered them across Egypt, Isis set out in search of Osiris, tracked down every part of the body, and stitched it back together. Thus, constructed what can be considered the first mummy. The story served as a guide to death for all ancient Egyptians. May your Ba exist, living in Nehe, like Orion in the body of the heavenly goddess. May your corpse endure in Jet, like the stone of the mountains. In ancient Egypt, as the mummy approached the final stage of the opening of the mouth ceremony, the officiating priest would chant the following prayer.
Neh and Shet clearly played vital roles in the mummification ritual. But what exactly do these two kinds of time represent? And what do they tell us about ancient Egyptians' beliefs?
The ancient Egyptians had two concepts of eternity: Jet, which is unchanging, and Nehe, which is cyclical. The forms of ancient Egyptian deities evolved over time. The sun god Ra, cyclical and ever-renewing, as he was reborn each day through the sky goddess Nut. The hieroglyph of the word Nehe consists of two wicks flanking the sphere of the god of Ra. topped by a zigzag of water, symbolizing the progression of the sun in the sky that delineates the passage of time on Earth and the seasons. Egyptians believed the afterlife would last for a very long time, long enough for humans to transform into whatever they wanted and learn every secret of the universe. But they also believed all things must end. Nay, time stops, as it is sucked back into the void that existed before the beginning. And the hieroglyph of Jet is made of 3 signs: a serpent, symbolizing power and regeneration, a bread loaf, and an oblong shape, the determinative for foreign land or desert, unchanging, timeless. Together, they tell us that Jet is the time of the gods, of the afterlife, eternity as a straight, unending path, not a circle. In this perspective, Jet is not simply a measurement of time, but rather a state of being that is unchanging and perfect. Osiris's resurrection and continued existence in the afterlife are seen as an embodiment of the perfected state of Jet.
How we can go to the bir nih. Yeah, the nih, the eternity. All the rituals inside the temple indicate to eternity.
These concepts reveal how deeply the ancient Egyptians revered nature and how they grapple with the mysteries of the universe. Legend says the head of Osiris was kept here and his resurrection bathed the city in sacred power, eventually making it the final resting place of pharaohs.
Even before the Book of the Dead was created, normal Egyptians would carve the magic spells into their coffins, whether stone or wood, in order to help them in the afterlife.
Look to the sky, the stars, yeah, and the cartouche of the king, and such stars, which also talking about the eternity.
This definition of eternal time and the need for divine kingship led the ancient Egyptian pharaohs to imitate the rituals of Osiris and make mummies for themselves in order to allow the dead to achieve perfect immortality in the other world.
If the king died, he will also be a king on afterlife.
He will rule the eternity.
Yes, ruled for eternity, yeah.
In Egypt, where desert dryness once preserved mummies for millennia, rising humidity is now threatening their integrity, promoting microbial decay and physical degradation. Yet modern science offers hope. Chemical analyses uncover the woody, spicy, and sweet essences of mummies, traces of embalming oils, and ancient global trade routes. Together, these breakthroughs guide modern efforts to conserve Egypt's legacy in an era of climate change.
In ancient Egypt, they imported the resin or such material from Lebanon or from Palestine. By knowing the type of a clay of such jars which is used to import their goods from there. It could be wine, it could be resin, which they used in mummification.
Yes, the global climate system is undergoing significant changes today, thus reshaping the trajectory of human civilization. But if we extend the timescale to the geological dimension, deep time, we will find that the Earth has experienced more severe climate shocks in its history. Fossils preserved in rock strata record evidence of how life responded to dramatic environmental changes. As early as the 4th century BCE, China recorded fossilized fish from the Yangtze River. reflecting the early Chinese civilization's awareness of paleontology and the connections between ancient life and the natural world. In the West, similar understandings did not emerge until the 18th century. Theories such as evolution challenged the religious belief in a 6,000-year-old creation, reshaping humanity's perception of time and space. Chongqing, known as China's hometown of dinosaurs, has unearthed 14 dinosaur species over the past 67 years. Since the first discovery in 1957, the Hechuan Mamenchisaurus, the region has become a key site for dinosaur fossil finds.
China leads the world in dinosaur species discoveries, and Chongqing, known as the city built on the back of dinosaurs, drew my attention. I come to explore why this region was once home to so many dinosaurs.
In 2015, in Pu'an Township of Yunyang, deep within the Three Gorges region of the Yangtze River, archaeologists uncovered a wall of time that spans 160 million years. Through systematic excavation, this massive fossil wall has become a focal point of global archaeological interest. This fossil wall stretches 150 meters in length, stands 6 to 10 meters high, and extends at least 20 meters deep underground, making it the largest in situ Jurassic fossil wall of its kind anywhere in the world. Over 5,000 dinosaur fossils have been preserved in their original burial positions within the rock layers, including skulls, teeth, vertebrae, limb bones, and pelvic girdles. These remains have been identified as belonging to 5 major dinosaur groups: sauropods, theropods, ornithopods, stegosaurs, and basal neornithischians. This fossil assemblage preserves unique species from the Xinjiang Formation, such as Pu'an Yingyangsaurus, from the Modaoxi Formation, such as Sanxiaosaurus, and from the lower Shashi Miao Formation, including Huatsai Jiangzhousaurus. These Yin-Yang exclusive type species provide crucial evidence for global dinosaur research.
Why are so many dinosaur fossils densely buried in Yunyang, Chongqing? And what factors allow them to be preserved for more than 160 million years?
Climate changes between the Triassic and Jurassic periods triggered a mass extinction event, wiping out many species and reducing global biodiversity. Yet numerous dinosaur lineages survived, and it was this turning point that launched their global rise. From the early Jurassic to the end of the Cretaceous period, Chongqing's inland basins underwent a series of environmental shifts from deep lakes to shallow lakes, and later to river systems and floodplain basins. The climate during this time was warm and humid, creating ideal ecological conditions. Abundant vegetation supported herbivorous dinosaurs, while thriving ecosystems provided ample prey for carnivorous species, allowing dinosaur populations to flourish and multiply. According to archaeological research, the Yunyang region at the time was located along the ancient Bashu Lake. Herds of diverse dinosaur species lived along its shores. A sudden disaster, or a series of events such as mudslides, floods, or prolonged storms likely caused mass die-offs. As rivers flowed into the lake's delta, the water slowed, allowing the bones to settle and gradually fossilize in the sediment. The entire Yunyang dinosaur fauna offers a complete record of life during the Middle Jurassic. and its rich diversity of dinosaur species fills a crucial gap in global research on evolutionary transitions between the early and middle Jurassic periods. The Yunyang dinosaur fauna spans a vast period of time, precisely filling the temporal gap between the Lufeng fauna of Yunnan and the Zigong Shunosaurus fauna of Sichuan. The reason for the fossil gap lies in the rarity of conditions required for fossilization. In nature, decomposing microbes are everywhere, and over long geological timescales, processes such as erosion, weathering, and leaching pose constant threats, often leading to the loss of potential fossils.
In Egypt, we preserve the trace of time by mummies protection. Here in Yunyang, the dinosaur fossil sites have been exposed to environmental conditions. How can we protect them?
The expert team took 3 steps. First, slope treatment. Second, restoration. And then monitoring to create an anti-weathering and erosion environment for the maintenance of this dinosaur wall. With the continuous research on the fossil wall, the expert team, in response to Yunyang's unique climatic conditions, large temperature differences between day and night, and rainy and humid environment, jointly with the Institute of Vertebrate Paleontology and Paleoanthropology of the Chinese Academy of Sciences and Shanghai University, successfully developed a new silicon-based fossil protection reagent. This technology has obtained national patent certification and has been applied in the protection practice of Yunyang's dinosaur fossil wall. In the mid to late Jurassic period, the Yangtze River basin was still a vast, humid lowland. Then came a massive tectonic movement that uplifted the mountains of East Asia and reshaped the course of ancient riverbeds. In present-day Yunyang, Chongqing, thick layers of sediment and volcanic ash were folded during this great geological upheaval, preserving the evidence of time itself. Later, the Yangtze River, shaped by these very forces, carved through the landscape over millions of years, bringing long-buried fossils back to light. Mummies are the tree rings of civilization. Fossils, the diary of Earth. Humanity strives to mend the fractures of time, stitching scattered fragments into a map of knowledge with the needle of science. As climate change looms globally, the past becomes a compass for the future. In this way, our pursuit to decode time may be the most profound definition of what it means to be human today.